Let's go.
All right, let's go.
What's up? Welcome into your TBC Weekly. You know what we got to do first before we get rolling with our takes and opinions and whatnot. Oh, yeah. I got to turn that off. Annoying audio. We need our guy Tyvis in here. Tyvis, for the people, please. Let me share you with the sound cranked. You got to crank it for Tyvis. Go Tyvis.
Hi, my name is Tyvis Powell, former Ohio State Buckeye and national champion DB. Welcome to the Buckeye Cast. These guys was born and bred in the Buckeye State, and they like to talk Buckeye football and drink bourbon. Subscribe to the show. Now pour up a drink and pull up a stool. Here's your host, Joe Warwick. Get him, Joe.
All right, Tyvis, let's go. Let's get this show on the road. Appreciate you, Tyvis. Feel like I need to give him like a long-winded introduction, right? Like BTN host of whatever show that is. Tyvis Powell. Think he deserves more than that?
I think it should be Tyvis Powell.
Yeah.
Powell.
Oh, okay. I got you. Without the L's.
That's right.
All right. So, folks, I mean, let's not ignore the obvious here. This was a big game. Big game that came out on top. Another Buckeye victory. But this one came in very dramatic fashion. I loved it from first snap to the last snap. At what point did you guys mute the TV? When did you turn off the audio? Because that was pretty special. I didn't know how special Notre Dame audio is when you're watching a game. That's pretty fucking special. And I don't mean special in the good way.
I didn't. I was watching with a room full of people. The TV wasn't. That wasn't even registering with me. those words.
You're socializing.
It was raucous.
Oh.
Well, Joe, I was over watching it with Pops last night, and the volume was on like 35, and there's about 5 of us in the room, and I heard everything.
Is that 35 out of 30?
That's 35 out. That's 35 out of 22. I think.
Take it up to 11.
Yeah. Pops. The neighbors heard play-by-play on that game.
Mm-hmm.
So I heard all of it. I heard 100% all of it, except when I was yelling myself.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Nice.
I got a text from my best friend, the Michigan fan, who said, "We're lucky as fuck." And I said, "Did you watch the whole game? Because I'm not sure where the luck came in." He's like, "Oh, come on, bro." He's like, "You're lucky as fuck. You squeaked that out." I said, "Okay, I'm done talking to you," and hung up. I didn't see any luck on the Buckeye part at all.
We're not the ones with shamrocks all over our stadium and shit like that. But hey, folks, we welcome you in. We're like midstream right now, but please, you're welcome to call in. Number is 305-224-1968. Meeting ID is 832-6984-4780. And the passcode is 986016. All these numbers are actually meant to confuse you so you don't call in. Just kidding. That's sarcasm. But the number is also scrolling above my head right now. So check it out. Hey, and let me tell you something. Everybody who is a Buckeye fan needs one of these here shirts. Let me see if I can get in the camera shot without making this a X-rated show. Let's just do this.
We know you're not wearing pants, so let's keep it clean.
No.
Jesus.
No.
Keep it clean, Mel.
I'm sitting on a towel from my anus. Everybody needs one of these shirts. I got them in short sleeve shirts, long sleeve, hats, tank tops. If you're living in the South, you still need a tank top. Ohio against the world, like Ryan Day said last night, and was very, very
Fired
accurate.
up.
This is Ohio against the world. Always has been, always will be. And especially when old people come after us, or any people. I mean, there's a lot of talking heads nationally that are on this hit list, not just Lou Holtz. Lou Holtz just happened to be like the boiling point, but there's a whole shit ton of people over the last, honestly, 2 years who have been saying this shit about Ohio State being soft, not tough, blah, 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 blah. So anyway,
all skill, right? All skill, no
finesse.
substance.
It's a finesse team, Anyway, I do want to mention, guys, this is a big deal for us. We went over 2,500 subs just today. We just went over 2,500 subs. We went over 2,000 just a month and a half ago. And so we're hoping to get to 3,000 subscriptions by the end of the season. I'm trying to keep things realistic, not hyper aggressive, but by the end of the month would be great. That's aggressive. Anyway, 2,500 is a big deal for us. We've been hitting it pretty hard for the last year plus. So we've been doing a lot of giveaways. We're always giving back to our friends, our family. And anyway, we have another t-shirt to give away. By the way, Stephen Cherry, dude, I owe you a shirt. You got to get in touch with me. I emailed you. I messaged you on in the comments.
He ain't getting that spam bullshit.
Yeah, he was telling me today. Stephen Cherry, I think, was telling me about. Oh, he had something funny. I'll get back to that. I'll get back to Stephen later. We gotta keep it PG-13.
Mad Dogs need to check in with us. Check in, Mad Dog. Where you at?
Yeah. You sound like Cronauer from, or what's his name from Rambo. Anyway,
I know you're talking about.
So this week's winner of the t-shirt giveaway, because final score was 17-14. That's a total of 31 for you and me, elementary school math. Brian, I'm going to call him Brian Money. Brian Money had 17-13. That's a 30-point total. Nice. He was damn close.
Well done.
Yep. So you got to get with me, Brian Money. I'll come after you in the comments, and all I can do is announce the winner. I can't drag you to a free shirt or hat. Anyways, go to the buckeyecast.com, the shop, check it out. Get yourself a shirt, hat, whatever you like. All right. Let's see. I got nothing else. I'm done. That's the end of the show.
Right. Good show, everybody.
Yep. All right. So where did we leave off? We were talking comeback.
Notre Dame's the commentary.
Yeah, the NBC Notre Dame Broadcasting Company commentary. Yeah, that was hard to listen to, man. I can't argue with you. I don't watch any Notre Dame games on TV. So this was kind of a shock for me. I did love also the camera shots, which were very tight on the crowds. If you notice any of the shots of the crowds, it was a very small window and it was all green, not a single red shirt to be seen, which is not accurate because about 30% approximately from eyeball, guesstimations, about 30% at least were Buckeye fans wearing red. So that was special too. I love the, I felt like I was watching North Korean communist TV or China TV, where the government dictates what is shown and talked about. That might be a reach. Anyway.
Yeah, more like CNN.
whatever. It seems like every news channel has their own viewpoint. Let's not take this political. I did sleep in today a little bit. I didn't go to bed till 11. So where do you guys want to start? You want to go play by play or drive by drive? I can read you off the drive chart. Shawn, you love that. That gets you fired up.
Oh, let's
You love
get into
yourself a
it. I
good
mean,
drive chart.
you guys want to suck each other off on this game, and it was a great game, but nah,
That would require a 69, Shawn.
I'm satisfied, not
Whoa.
happy. I'm satisfied, not happy. Or happy, not satisfied. I don't know.
How does that?
Something though.
Can you? Do you have like a real life scenario, like a metaphor?
Yeah,
you could
this game.
paint
Yeah,
for
please
us?
do. Please do.
Yeah,
Elaborate.
this game. Yeah, I mean it's a great win, but I still have huge concerns.
So you're shocked that this is not a finished product. So you're telling me you're
Shocked,
shocked.
not shocked. Finished product. It's not. To me, this is still not championship caliber. The O line isn't good. The fucking D line doesn't impress that much. I'm still not in Kyle McCord's camp. I'm definitely not in Devin
Freudian
Brown's camp.
slip there, folks.
No, big problems all over. And what did we do to win the game? We had to run that ball in there. And there's problems, man. We'll get to it.
All right. Well, let's run through the drive chart quickly. I'll be brief. So she said, punt, downs, field goal. Yeah, that's 4 possessions in the first half, folks, if you're not counting. Second half, touchdown, punt, downs, touchdown. That's 4 possessions again. So this is the new reality, unfortunately. I know we've talked about this over the first few weeks, but it was in your face fucking obvious this week when we only get 4 possessions a half. I don't think we've been limited to less than 10 yet, but anyway. So the first drive was 8 plays, 28 yards, punt. Second drive, three plays, 8 yards. Kyle was obviously a little keyed up, missing big time on his passes. O-line was not moving anybody, but to be expected. I mean, early in a game, nobody's O-line is going to be moving you off the ball. I mean, Notre Dame's first drive, they went 14 plays, 71 yards, but couldn't convert, turned it over on downs. Then they missed the field goal. But anyways, the Buckeyes, their third drive, they go 13 plays, 70 yards, turn it over on downs. Then 12 plays, 66 yards, field goal, So a really, really kind of, I would say, almost boring first half. But you got to remember, these are 2 really good O-lines and D-lines. In my opinion, I think it's short-sighted to say that there are a ton of issues along the lines. There are issues, especially on the Buckeye O-line, but going against Notre Dame, this is not a MAC school. Feel free to jump in, please.
Yeah.
Talking.
Yeah, I definitely am. I think out of the 4 lines, the 2 O lines, 2 D lines, I think our O line finished 4th by a wide margin. I was impressed with Notre Dame's defense. Not knowing too many of the players, losing some of their big names, Passcode and them from last year. But their defense, they're legit. That defense is legit to kind of limit us. Our not bad, maybe questionable play calling in certain circumstances kind of help them a little. But overall, I think Notre Dame's a good team. they having that quarterback that can make key throws in key situations goes a long way, because it's not much of a different roster. But those receivers looked a lot better because of the quarterback, I think.
I think the age of that defense being so like senior laden, and guys, I mean, there's graduates on that fucking D line and linebacker crew, that makes their defense actually that much better than ours, in my opinion, just from an experience point of view.
Yeah, and one quick thing, Javonte Jean-Baptiste last night looked like he should have started in front of Jack Sawyer this year, or JT, either or.
No, easy.
He made more. Now I think the guys that our DNs were going up against were way better, considerably way better than the tackles that he was going up against.
Yeah,
but I think he was the best defensive lineman in that game last night. Okay. From what I saw,
he played. He had the best game. I mean, I don't know. The thing is, JT at the end, JT actually saved that game. I just rewatched it, just finished it right before I got on here. JT,
I got it going right now, but
JT Tumalo closed that game for us. Without his,
he knocked down that screen pass to stop the clock. Otherwise, that clock burns.
With the sack before it,
right?
Yep.
Sure. He had two plays. He had two plays back to back where he, you saw, okay, well, JT can take over a game. See, look here, play. Those are the only two plays that I saw him overtaking the game. I mean, if there was another set or another drive or another set of downs,
another game with zero sacks. Another game with 0 sacks. I mean,
well, he's also going against a first round left tackle, which he goes against the other team's best left tackle every week. Not saying that's an excuse, but he's not a Chase Young either.
Sure,
he's
very different. I think he's a first round guy.
But he was he's supposed to be a first round guy. He was the number one DN coming out. The year he came out, him and Sawyer were both top 5 players all around in the country. So don't tell me about, well, he was going up against a future pro at offensive tackle. Yeah, but he's supposed to be a future pro too.
Yeah, seems like he won a couple of those battles. He didn't get like stonewalled all of them. I mean, Javonte Jean-Baptiste had a good game. He had 3 total pressures, 1 hit, and 2 hurries.
But he had two big
tackles.
Time plays. No, stops on 4th down and shit. Big time plays. It's not just the stat line. It's making the big plays like we're talking about with JT when the moment's big.
Okay. Well, he didn't do anything on that last drive where we won the game. So I would say when the moment's biggest, he did not give them his very best. Anyway, this is not a Javonte Jean-Baptiste hype up show. So let's talk about the Buckeyes, who won the game. That's what I want to talk about. The running game. I was impressed that the Buckeyes kept Estime to 70 yards. He didn't have any big breakout runs. I think he had a 25-yarder. That was the longest run he had.
He's not really a burner. He's a bowling ball.
I couldn't keep track. They ran 5 different guys, man. I couldn't keep track of. I mean, obviously, Estime looks different than the rest of them, but I mean,
I don't know that love.
To be honest,
they all ran hard.
I couldn't tell the back. The difference between them. I know one guy broke off like a 30-yard run late, but you read those plays. You read the possessions, Joe. You saw. I heard 12 play drive, 13 play drive. They were able to do exactly what they wanted with clock management as far as run the ball on us, keep the ball away from our offense, and try to wear us down. Now, they didn't end up wearing us down, but they accomplished the other, as far as keeping the ball away from the offense. 4 drives. Hell, the time of possession at the end of the third quarter was ridiculous in Notre Dame's favor. I mean, it was astonishing how much they took the ball up from that opening kickoff in the second
for
half.
the game, they had it 35 minutes to 25.
Yeah, and that second half was way, the way bigger gap than the first half. Their tight end, they have another tight end. Michael Mayer's gone.
Sure.
They got nine pro tight ends or whatever they got. But they got another one. That dude made plays. Some of them in great coverage. Yeah, some of them in great coverage. That one-handed grab first drive. I mean, shit.
That was pretty.
You got it. You got it defended, and if a guy, our guys do that a lot. It
was like 3rd and 20, and he went up and got another one, I think.
Yeah, and
he made plays on that last drive they had.
Last drive too, yeah.
In where they ended up punting. And the 5 plays, 16 yards. But
the stops on 4th down were huge. By the first one, Cody Simon hit Hartman, a foot and a half from the line, maybe. I mean, I thought for sure, like in the pros, that's always given first down. The quarterback always gets that, that straddle leg over out of bounds. That always goes first down. That's not even measured. Great job by our guys in the booth to get the day and say, hey man, we think he was half a yard short.
Great decision by them. Refs giveth and they taketh away. The drill.
Well, they came back and said they screwed us. That Marv was a catch. I think they're yet again say that.
Yeah, I have a screenshot of that. Actually, it's lovely.
I didn't know what they were saying before. I didn't know what they were saying before either, because I'm like, there's no way that's not a catch.
Well, there was one angle, and I don't. It was something dark, and you couldn't tell. But the one thing they showed, it looked when I saw it from that angle, and again, it wasn't really clear, but it looked like something may have hit the ground. But then when you saw it from the angle where you could actually see it, it's like, yeah, that's a fucking catch.
Yeah,
I'm tired of getting the email from the fucking league every week,
every
saying,
Tuesday.
That touchdown should have been allowed. That penalty should have been called, or that touchdown should have been allowed.
Here it is.
We don't. Hey, let's get over that real quick. Let's get past.
Here it is.
Let's get past fucking us out of scores.
He has possession in his left arm. Look at the right foot down at the bottom of the screen. Right foot is down. Possession is in the left arm, and he comes down on his elbow. Does not lose possession. Yeah, the ball may move within his arm, but he never bobbles it or loses control. That's the thing. It doesn't make any sense.
And I don't know, the pro. I know the pro rule is that ball is allowed to move from contact to the ground, but if you do not lose possession of the ball, if you maintain possession of it, even though it moves or touches the ground, it is still reviewed as a catch. It is still proven as a catch. I think the college rule is the same when it comes to that, but I wasn't sure. But I know in the pros, that ball can touch the ground or that ball can move, jostling around, but as long as you don't actually lose possession of it, which in any case with us, possession was not lost.
Too bad they don't have the NFL rule. Stover would have got himself a touchdown on that batted ball.
Yeah, that was damn close to not even having his knee down, honestly.
And there's no way I thought you couldn't see it from the play, watching live. I'm like, nobody's knee touched the ground. What are you talking about? But then it was clear as day that it did. But
this game had everything, man. It had batted balls, fucking
two batted balls that could have easily been picks. If that ball just skims off the arm a different way, up in the air a little bit more than skip away, both Tyleek's and JT's both could have been picks. Tyleek's would have been a touchdown. It's like that. You can't say
the
the
game
Buckeyes.
of his life, by the way.
Tyleek's a baller.
That was his best game as a Buckeye, hands down.
I think so.
He was bringing it high motor.
And he was able to play an entire game, basically. Jack and JT played every defensive snap. I know Michael Hall and actually only played was it like 15 snaps here on he had 15 pass rush snaps, but on run, I'm gonna have to find that. But
Well, I mean, there was a lot more
play
Ty
nearly as
Hamilton.
many as Tyreek.
Yeah, he's a lot more than there was a lot more Ty Hamilton. I think because Ty Hamilton is better against the run, and Mike Hall is a better pass rusher from the inside. But I think it seems to me how the game flows go when they're running the ball and they're getting and teams are getting yardage on us. Ty Hamilton is going in there in place of Michael Hall because Hall's a smaller guy and Notre Dame's got a good old line, and I think he's more of a pass rusher interior guy than Hamilton would be more of a run stopper interior guy.
I would say there was an obvious. I mean, we talked about it last week. The weakness was on the Notre Dame offensive line, the middle, centers,
I didn't see
and
that.
the guards, and so that's why we saw the tackles, Hall and Tyreek. They actually had their best games. Michael Hall in let's see, he had a total of 35 snaps out of 65 total snaps. So he only played like half the game, but he had 3 pressures, a hit, 2 hurries. He had 3 tackles. So Mike Hall and Tyreek had their best games, and it shows up on the tape and in the stat sheet. Tyreek played many more snaps, obviously, but Mike Hall and Tyreek were the focus because the Buckeyes had targeted the middle of that Notre Dame O-line as being the weakness, especially in passing downs. I mean, Tyreek here had 5 pressures, 5 hurries, and then he had 4 tackles. These guys were making tackles in the run game and getting in the quarterback's face in the pass game.
Yeah. But still overall as a D line, not enough pressure.
Right.
Even, I mean, those 2-step, out of the shotgun, that 1 step and gather and throw that Hartman was doing, we're not going to get pressure on those. Nobody's really getting pressure on that unless you absolutely get untouched. But a lot of those 5-step drops, 1,000, 2 1,000.
Especially when I look at our
released.
line completely fold and McCord's under duress every fucking play.
Yeah, I don't think Baptiste is the best defensive lineman in that game talent wise, but our O line made him look that way. Major questions. Just like Shawn. Are you happy, satisfied, or not happy? Answer. I don't know. I'm not sure where you're at. I'm not sure where you're at yet, Shawn.
Here's my concern on it. Is to me going into this, Notre Dame to me is Michigan light, and they play the same style of football that Michigan does. The thing is, Michigan has a better quarterback, they have better running backs, and they've got a better O line, and their defense is just as good. So if we're Notre Dame's taking us down like this, Notre Dame was able to, when they had that 96-yard drive to take the lead. I mean, that just can't happen. Eat up 8 minutes and score at the end of it. That can't happen. The way Ohio State approaches games needs to change. What's our big advantage? We've got better players. So what do we need to do? We need to fucking hurry up, because only running, how many offensive plays we run, Joe?
65.
It felt like 35.
No,
both teams were 65.
Which is amazing to me, because it seems like they ran 30 more than we did.
So to me, just the math and the stats, it's like if I could get that number to 75, that's 10 more opportunities to get it to Marv and Emeka and Henderson. And,
I'm sorry, 64. My bad.
And Fleming and Stover, because Stover's a weapon too.
Yeah,
you're right.
I mean,
all of them.
You got to remember, this is a first-year starting quarterback in a big hostile environment, big-time situation, and 3 new linemen, first-time starters.
Well, I mean, again, not just on. I mean, obviously that sucked, but still, D line, you can't let them march down the field in the 4th quarter on an 8-minute drive and take the lead.
we do not have the beef up front to get
Exactly.
stops.
Why do you think they
Like-
call us soft? That's why. So when I know Dave's pissed about it, but that's why they call us soft, because we don't have the beef.
But we did get the stops in the fourth quarter.
Again, against Notre Dame. Will we get them against Michigan? I think Michigan
I'm not
is
sure
better than these
Michigan's
guys all the
O-line
way
is
up
any
and down the
better.
board.
What makes Michigan's O-line better?
I don't know. Look at the rankings of O-lines. Just saying what they say. The running
Where are
backs
those rankings at? I haven't seen
estimate
them.
estimate
those,
isn't
Jeff?
gonna be isn't
No,
gonna
I don't have them. They're
Braylon
not in
Edwards.
front of me right now. I tell you what though,
be Donovan.
Notre Dame's O-line, I would grade out in this game. Notre Dame's O-line played 2 grades above our O-line. I would say that.
Yes, agreed.
All right.
But Joe, you can carry the water all you want for first time starting quarterback, first time hostile environment, blase fucking blase. He's going to need to make another leap this year. The O-line is going to need to make 5 and to beat Georgia or whoever we might face in a playoff if we make it. Michigan, whoever. The O-line's going to need to make leaps and bounds, multiple. The quarterback needs to make at least 2 more jumps in his performance, because you can't play a first half like you did and not be down fucking 3 touchdowns at halftime against the best in the country. So right now, I don't feel we're the best in the country. I don't think we're one of the best in the country right now, because there's still a lot to show. In my opinion, the O-line and the quarterback play has to show me more to be considered. I mean,
And the D-line. Don't forget Shawn's D-line point.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah.
I got the pass blocking grades. I got the grades here for Notre Dame's O-line, by the way.
I would love to hear all of that.
Okay, so
their grades versus our grade.
Well, I'm talking about Shawn's point about the D-line being subpar versus Notre Dame's O-line. So Joe Alt, the left tackle, graded out at a 72.6 pass blocking. Blake Fisher, the right tackle, so both tackles, was a 71.1.
Really?
Yeah. Joe Alt allowed 3 pressures, 3 hurries. Blake Fisher, 2 pressures, 2 hurries. And then up the middle, the guards, Pat Coogan, which were the target of the Buckeye defense because we knew these were the weak spots. Pat Coogan, left guard, 63.4. He allowed 2 hurries. Rocco Spindler, the other guard, was a 63.3, allowed 2 pressures. And then the center was a 48.6, allowed 2 pressures.
And after you said all those numbers, nothing you said involved sacks. We never even those Joe and those you're reading those grades. The highest was what, 72. It seems like low grades. It seems like low grades. But what I saw what I'm watching the game, as I'm watching the game, I saw us not being able to affect the quarterback very much at all. We got some hits on Hartman, but few and far between. Yep. Now, and if you look at that average player rating or whatever of those O linemen versus our D linemen, we are head and shoulders. Should be head and shoulders talent wise above them. Correct? Mm-hmm. Do you agree with that?
Yeah. I would say
I mean, those hurries and those pressures that you said that they gave up, none of that really affected the game though, except JT. Maybe for that little stretch in the fourth quarter, I didn't see much more really affecting them. I mean, because they have an experienced quarterback that could stand in the pocket, no pressure's there, but still deliver the ball. Kind of like what McCarthy, I'm guessing McCarthy will be able to do against us, or like what Stetson Bennett was able to do against us last year. Those kind of quarterbacks that
Well, Hartman only threw for 175. Let's not act like he went for 300.
No, and I'm surprised they didn't open it up to him and let him. But I think he's by far the best quarterback we've played, and until we play JJ McCarthy, he might be the best quarterback we'll see. I would take him. I'd take him right now above Drew Aller. Okay, for sure. and that's
Right.
the best. That's going to be the best team we'll play next. But there's not another quarterback that's gonna be able to do what he did against us
So Joe,
until we get to the end of the year.
With those numbers is. So what are you saying? Make my point. Do you think Michigan's O-line is better than that? What you just read off?
I don't think it's fair to gauge Michigan's O-line right now because they've played a bunch of garbage. I mean, they haven't played anybody. Even that Rutgers game was not really a game, right? I mean,
I don't know. Rutgers D's for real. I think Rutgers solid.
well, they gave
They
up
held with
31.
them. Well, I know. Well, the Rutgers to me is kind of like a good MAC team. They can fight you for a quarter and a half, and then it's just gonna.
Well, BG
you
seemed to do
rotate
better
and-
than Rutgers, honestly.
Well, yeah, okay. You said good MAC team. I don't even know if BG's a good MAC team. I'm not sure, but
Well, they got 3 picks on JJ. That's what I'm saying.
yeah, right. I got you.
Rutgers did not.
But Rutgers
I
was able to
can't-
score.
I can't
Gauge
Gauge
Rutgers, hitting
Michigan's
that
O
gauge.
line. I
Yeah.
have no idea what quality it is until they play somebody with a pulse.
Penn State.
Yeah.
They got Nebraska? I think
Even-
they have Iowa this year. Iowa or Wisconsin.
No, I don't
Those might be
think so.
Those might be two measuring stick games. You know what I mean? Where you can look at the row line comparatively. But other than that, there's nobody else in the West. I don't think with a D line that could give a good
Michigan's
grade
O-line
to
is-
Michigan.
It's pretty much the same O-line from last year.
Yeah.
And I think they brought in some 5-year senior transfers that were good.
Right.
I
They
mean,
got
it's,
the
it's
dudes
gonna
from
be solid.
Stanford. I know
So
they got plenty of dudes.
it's estimated that they do have a dominant O line. I mean, it's considered by most people talking college football in the Big Ten. That
Without even
Michigan's
looking, I would
O-line
say
is really-
Michigan's O-line is probably like one of the highest rated in the country. Without even taking.
It's
a
got to
look.
because they played a bunch of soup cans.
Yeah,
Thank you.
but I think
That
they actually
helps.
are. I think the numbers will back up as they get into Big Ten play. I think that will. So
Well, and I think
The-
they're getting a little
but-
hype because they got the best D in the country too, right? Points per game because they don't
Right.
play anybody.
well,
Yeah.
sure, but yeah. So we'll see. I mean, we'll see what what they might turn into as the season goes along. But as of right now, what I was watching our O line do last night, costly penalties again on third downs, converted to first downs, but called back. We didn't actually lose a touchdown this game, but I mean, our O line does not. I don't think it matches up with the best in the country to play with the best in the country, unless Notre
No.
Dame's defense really turns out to be one of the best in the country. They got 0 playmakers. You know what I mean? 0 impact players on defense, but they play solid. And
So
we
who's-
still.
So for
What?
comparison's sake, because we're really just guessing, what is a good O-line in the country? Because I haven't seen any really good teams at all. I've seen Georgia beat up on garbage. I've seen Michigan beat up on garbage. I've seen Alabama lose to Texas, but then beat up on garbage and then beat up on Ole Miss, which I don't know what Ole Miss
Well,
is either.
really, the best thing
So-
for O-line, consistency is probably the biggest thing. You need to be consistent there. But to me, the two main things that I judge an O-line are: can you get the short yardage? Can you run the football? And
When you
can
need
you
to.
protect? Can
When-
you protect your quarterback? Can you, is he not running out, or you can't be picking your quarterback up all day? Can you keep your quarterback on his feet? And can you get short yardage running and dominating the run game?
No,
And
and
we
I don't.
can't,
And I don't.
because I just, for some simple math for you, if you take away that 61-yard run, we average 2.5 yards a carry.
Yep.
That's that.
Yeah.
That's shit. That can't be.
Again,
That's okay.
this
good-
is not
yeah,
a high
great.
school D line they're going against. You got to
But
remember
Joe,
that.
Joe, what Shawn's really saying, the meaning behind the words, we're not winning the national title averaging 2.5 yards a carry.
No, I would say not. But I would say again, I've had to reiterate this over and over. I'm kind of it's pinballing around in my head at this point. This is not a national championship team yet. yet.
No.
This is only
Okay, so
week
we're all
fucking
we're all
four.
in, we're,
Let's
so we're all in agreement with
let's
that.
all fucking chill out and realize that teams progress over a 12-week season. We're not
They do,
playing the
but every
championship
other
tomorrow.
every other year that we've watched Ohio State football, when I'm 4 games in, I've got a pretty good estimate in my mind. If I think, you know what, if things go right here, we are national championship caliber. Right now, I do not have I don't see, like, you know, boy, that O-line's really close to being good. I don't see it. And that's the big killer with me is that O-line play. And if you think you see a bunch of potential there and it's getting better and better, I hope you're right. I'm concerned about it, and it doesn't look national championship caliber, and I'm not even sure if it looks national caliber potential. I don't know if their potential is there because I just haven't seen it
Okay.
to dominate and be able to win at the national level. I'm not talking about Indiana and that. I'm talking about Penn State and Michigan and the rest.
Yeah.
Well,
when
it came to crunch time, we got the job done, punched it in.
Yeah.
I will say that maybe some of your opinion is based on play calling, like a 4th and 1 end around to
my
Mecca.
my high school did that exact same play on 4th down, and all the
jet
parents
sweep?
just lost their shit, and it didn't. Same exact result. Same exact thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was beside myself with the play call there.
That's not a toughness question, though,
that is because
or a
it
good
is.
O-line
No,
question.
It is, because you don't trust your O-line.
No. Sometimes play callers, like a Ryan Day or any other, they overthink the room. They think that they're going to catch the defense off guard, and they're going to catch them, and we're going to make a big play. No, it's just a fucking a guy gets strung out of bounds because the other defense can go sideline to sideline.
I don't think they trusted the O-line, and I thought they're like, fuck it, I'm not doing it. You guys have been getting beat.
Then why did you give it to him with 3 seconds left in the game?
At the end, I'll tell you why. Because at that point, he threw down there and he didn't trust his quarterback at that point. And the only one he could trust was Traynham.
Don't trust your quarterback.
No,
That's asinine, Shawn. That might be
he's so
your
lucky.
worst
He
take
threw a
today.
pick right over the middle that the safety completely dropped right into his hands. He threw bad balls all day. Ryan Day did not trust his quarterback in there. Ryan Day did not trust his quarterback on that goal line.
Oh, nope. Wow. Chat, now, where are you at?
I'll say
Ryan Day did not trust his quarterback. Quote it.
I'll say
You're
to that
be
final
next
play
on
call.
Ryan Day's hit list. Right
I would love to hear Ryan Day after next game. Well, Shawn, where are you at? I would love to fucking hear that. I hope that happens.
He might
Henry, where are you at?
He might trust him next game. He didn't trust him right then. He didn't trust him right then.
Oh, fuck me. He just led the team down the field. What was the
just got lucky because he threw the ball right into a safety's hand that dropped it, and the game would have been over. That was
15 plays, 68 yards, 1 minute, 25 seconds.
Well, I tell you what, Joe, in that second quarter, that touchdown, that in the red zone pass to Stover, the bad ball that got tipped in the air was a miracle that didn't get picked off. You know, I guess that's the lucky Buckeyes. That's the luck eyes, glass you can see through. But that was a bad decision. That was a bad read. It was a bad throw, bad choice in that instance. Now, fast forward to the last drive, you get a Mecca down to the 1. I was screaming to my family in front of me, you either keep that ball, sneak it, or you throw it to Harrison if he's 1-on-1. You don't do anything else. And I was steadfast in that, and I was totally against when he came out in shotgun with Traynham next to him. I thought, worst fucking idea in the world, because now you're taking away the chance of that quarterback sneak. Now the defense knows that's not coming. Traynham, we on that play, our O-line did assert themselves, and Traynham is a tough ass running back.
Notre Dame only had 10 dudes on the field, 2 plays in a row.
Yeah, I saw the Twitter grab from that.
Traynham's earned the right to carry that ball too, right? I mean, That's the guy I want of all of them. If you need that 1 yard, give me Trainum. That dude.
That's one thing Pop
brings
said.
it.
Pop said last night. He's like, well, I think 19. I think he's earned a little more ball carrying, and I don't disagree. We didn't see Mike Williams at all. Was he even playing? Was he even in the game?
Yeah, he had a
take one
carry
snap.
down inside the 5. Yeah, didn't do anything with it. But I don't know what's going on there.
Yeah, I mean, we don't know. I mean, I know he's limited in practice a lot of times, so maybe he's got some nagging stuff, but I don't know. The ineffectiveness of us to run when we needed to, I think it is that's troubling too.
Yeah.
But I think that a lot of that goes back to O-line. You're right. Some of the play calling was questionable in our opinions.
I don't know why Ryan Day has not called a quarterback sneak since Justin Fields was on the team. That's not a stretch.
Maybe he doesn't trust his quarterback.
I don't. We don't have the quarterback. We don't have the last two haven't been the athlete that Justin Fields is. That's hard to compare.
The willing runner. Justin Fields was willing. Stroud didn't want to do that shit.
I tell you what, I would have fucking run the Bush push and
that's what I was calling.
Notre Dame, seeing ghosts.
I ain't ran that since college.
All right.
Yeah, but I was calling for that play a couple of times in that game, because it's unstoppable. The NFL runs it, and it can't be. It's not defeated.
Right.
You get a couple 240-pound guys shoving a 230-pound guy behind 5 300-pound guys. The fucking pile moves, man. It does.
When you only need a yard.
Go spend a weekend in Philadelphia and say, "All right, Eagles, how do you do this?"
Yeah, exactly. Well, exactly. I mean, with Jalen Hurts, obviously Jalen Hurts is a much different running quarterback than McCord is, obviously. But McCord's still, weight-wise, McCord's still a big
probably
body
220,
kid.
Right?
At least, yeah.
He's 6'3",
that's what I'm saying. He's a bigger quarterback. He's not a fucking Bryce Young or something like that.
Find a crease for a yard. Fuck. You're 6 feet tall plus. Just find a crease in between the guard and center or whatever, and fall forward. Rocket science.
And then have Trainum and G Scott in the backfield, fucking shoving.
Stay on your feet. Actually, don't fall down.
It will
stay on your feet.
It will work.
Yeah.
If you're only trying to get a yard or two, because McCord's not gonna. That's all. Whenever you're coming up and shoving a quarterback in the back, until they outlaw that fucking play, use it. It works. Everybody that uses it gets it to work. We can make it work as well.
Yeah. All right.
That's what I was calling for at the goal line. That's what I was calling for. Or either that, or you got Marv out there one-on-one. Go down, throwing the ball to the best kid in college football. That was my thought. Now, yeah,
that was the previous play. They threw the.
Well, I don't know. Whenever, let me know when you want to get to Notre Dame holding our receivers on every single play and hoping that it's not called every play. Whenever you want to get to that, we can cover that too.
Get a lot of feely stuff going on. I think
what is
they were
the
letting
rule?
them. They were letting them go
anymore. Because
that's the thing is it depends on the refs, that group for the game, because some refs will let them go like this week, but except for IGB, who is a little overzealous. He's reaching. I
tell you what though, I like him at corner. I like him out there, man. He's a pro.
His physicality is awesome.
He is. He's got an attitude. He gets fucking.
I guarantee. Pissed
off.
But that kind of goes a little too far sometimes physically.
Well, that was bullshit.
Damon Arnett played the same way.
Right.
Arnett played
he's
the same
reaching
way.
those standards. Yes.
Hopefully he's got a little better head about him off the field. But I like that. I like that type of corner, man. Make them call that shit every play. The fucking Seahawks won a Super Bowl playing that way. Hold every play, fight them all the way down the field. They're not going to call it every play. Do it every play, and make them call it. Notre Dame's defense was. I think that was the most. I'm sure that was taught and in the game plan for them to just hold, grab, punch, fight the receivers all the way through the play. And they got called very few times, very few compared to the times they did it. So
Yep.
I don't mind that physical play. I mean, fuck it, make them call it every play.
What about
Anything else?
what about Josh Fryer finishing a block?
What the fuck?
I get it. I get
It was a
the
little
meanness, and
aggressive. It was a little
I get the
bit
meanness,
of a dick
but
move.
they're gonna call that shit, man. You had the
Why?
block. You
That
had the play
happens on
once.
every play, though. Like you
It-
finish
more-
a block, you put the guy you're going against into the ground and you lay on him to make sure he doesn't get up for the extent of the play.
Well,
It's not
and,
like
you
you
know,
laid on him after the play was over or did the AI step over or
No, but I
dragged
mean,
his
it
nuts
was-
on his face.
But just the way he did it, I think with the way he
Oh,
did it, it
fuck.
came down head to head when that guy's head's in the ground already and it can't
That's-
even go back anymore.
That
It was
Orlando Pace
aggressive.
would have had a penalty on every play.
Joe, our father said that last night as well. He's like, Orlando Pace wouldn't even be able to play today because of that play. But at the same time, that was a huge costly play that cost us a first down and put
Yes.
us at what, fourth and
But-
24 or some shit.
I don't think it was
You know,
a
or third and 24?
selfish, like dumb play either.
No,
No,
it
I
wasn't. I was like,
and
you
on
can't call
Sundays,
that.
and on Sundays, if you watch football today, that same play probably happened today, and that never will get called. But Shawn said, it was the crown of his helmet coming down is what made contact, and we're at Notre Dame. You know what I mean?
He didn't get called.
It seemed like there was a lot of those
targeting.
calls. You can't expect. I expected those calls to go against us playing at their place on prime time. You know what I mean?
Wow.
So I mean, and now you telling a player too to well, hey, you got to know the situation. We're at Notre Dame at night. NBC, Notre Dame fucking honks, blah blah blah. They're gonna call the tight shit. You can't expect a player to have all that in his head and make that decision. It just seemed to be. It was just. I appreciated the play. I think I love our line being nasty like that, but it fucking killed us at a worst possible time. Just the timing of that play, just really bad. Put us in 3rd and 24. We ended up getting a 4th and 18, had to punt or some shit. 4th and 20.
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
but yeah, they're gonna hold every play and they're gonna blanket coverage to Marv, and they're gonna hold him and in Ibuka. We got to be able to get other shit going when the DBs are going to be allowed to just hold and grab every single play. Every time we come out of a break, the jersey's getting pulled. I saw it every play.
They're grabbing everybody.
Every
Fleming's
single
getting
play.
held. They're all getting held.
Every play. So what are we going to do to combat that? What does our offense do to fix that? I mean, you saw Marv when Marv has a small window, he makes great catches. He made some great catches. But I think we can go to him more. There's a lot of times I'm like, oh shit, they're rolling coverage. They're pressuring, they're looking somewhere else. We got Marv one-on-one. Check that shit up. But there's a lot of times, McCord's stepping back, he's looking to the left automatically. Marv's only one wide to the right, and he immediately shuts off that part of the field. And even on one-on-one coverage, I saw it probably 3 or 4 times. I'm like, why are we not even looking at the dude when it's one-on-one? When that safety rolls up in the box and that one shifts over on the other opposite hash, that opposite hash in college, especially with the hash marks out wider, if that safety rolls over to that opposite hash to play the strong side and Marv's backside one-on-one, we're doing a disservice to everyone by not even looking that way. Am I right? Do you guys agree with that? At least there's a lot of times Marv was one-on-one and the play didn't even look his way. Like he wasn't even third option, third, fourth. He would have been fifth option on a scramble. I mean, come on. Take advantage of every opportunity you get to get him one-on-one because he's the best goddamn player in college football.
Well, that's to me.
I'm gonna give a fuck what number 20, what he's ranked as far as a defensive back.
We will benefit from more chances our playmakers get. So we, to me, need to be a little more efficient on offense and a little faster. I mean, maybe they slow it down though, because when Notre Dame puts together an 8-minute, 16-play drive, it's like, all right, hey, don't go 3 and out in 30 seconds to put that D back out there. Don't do that to them. so maybe that dictates part of it. But I just feel we need to play with more tempo.
Well, sure, but why the fuck we giving up 16 play drives to anyone?
Well,
I mean,
I will say what you want about the
defense.
defense.
You know what I mean?
Right, but we held Notre Dame to 5 out of 10 on third downs. That's 50% to you and
Yeah,
me.
great.
Great
stat.
We converted 10 of 17. I
our
think
best by far
so far
of
this
the
year.
season.
Yeah, that's a big deal. So that could be one of the stats you look at when you look at differences. Also, the passing yards. The Buckeyes moved the ball well through the air, not as well on the ground, obviously, but we put up 240 passing. Notre Dame 175. That's quite a difference. And then rushing the ball, obviously they put up 176. We put up 126. So kind of a flip-flop kind of scenario there. They were more rushing focus, which was obviously what we were expecting, and no surprises there. Penalties were almost the same. They had 4 for 50. We had 5 for 35. No turnovers. A very, very clean game, other than some of these rando penalties by the refs. A lot of these were really just random calls that maybe were a little overzealous, I would say, in some cases. And
well,
then
did we jump on that one offsides? That was so close. Did he actually jump or just time that snap perfectly?
That dude was in neutral zone, man. I saw his foot.
Oh,
his
the
foot
dude
blocked the football.
Guy that was coming up the blitz.
You know what I mean? Yeah, his foot blocked the football. So when I'm looking at the football,
I'm not sure which play you're talking about in my head.
Late in the third or fourth quarter?
Third.
We got called for a false start. Yeah, Simmons rocked in a stance, but dude, his foot came over and it was in the he was on the TV camera side of the football, and you couldn't see the football when he stepped on the line. He stepped when he took a step, his foot blocked the football. To me, that's neutral zone
I almost
infraction.
feel like that football moved right when he did. Like he got lucky and timed it perfect. Like you could never do it that perfect.
But time of possession, Notre Dame had 35 minutes, Buckeyes 25, but we made the most of the times when we had the ball. Again, probably could go more tempo if you really want to get more plays, more juice out of that orange. But we probably should touch on the chat here before we move on. We've
there is chat. Oh, okay, yeah, of course.
We've been scattering all over the place. Let's see.
Hey,
what's up, Pops? Donna Warwick says hi.
Hey, Papa.
Tyrone messaged me earlier. He's back in here. Tyrone's up there in Notre Dame country, and he said some sad looking Catholics up here in Notre Dame country today. Silver Bullets Buckeye says Kyle has nerves of steel. I agree. Odysseus, the game reminded me of '96 Rose Bowl. Kyle Jermaine.
Arizona State.
I like it.
Arizona State, yeah.
Jermaine says, "What up, Joe? Are you guys still celebrating after last night?" Yes, we are. I've been celebrating ever since Chip hit the end zone for the win. Let's go Buckeyes. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I've been drinking all day.
One thing more delicious than Domer tears are weasel tears.
Weasel tears.
Michigan. Tyrone, man, I love Igbuka. He's so much fun to watch. I agree.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Stephen Cherry, great win, great time for a bye week. I agree. Jeremiah Luholtz can go back to the insane asylum to suck on his lead pacifiers. That's special.
Has he responded?
I doubt it. He probably has been in a nap since Friday.
He's still trying to figure out his login for Twitter.
Odysseus says we play the guy who coined the finesse term after the bye week. Oh yeah, Gaddis is the offensive coordinator for Maryland. We got him next. He's the one that called us finesse a couple of years ago when he was in Michigan, running through jobs and recruits moms, by the way.
Yeah, that you took it from me.
I'll let you, boy.
You said running through, and it immediately hit me. You said running through. I'm like, he's running through shit.
Need to improve short yardage offense. Yeah, that's obvious.
Always,
It's
yes, always.
been a problem for the first 3 weeks and this week too.
It was a problem last year too. Don't get us anybody wrong. It was an issue last year as well.
I've done studies on this actually. I can pull up last year's studies. Maybe they apply to this year. Full-blooded Buckeye. That game damn near gave me a heart attack. You mean both? How many yards did we limit them to in the first half? Timper asks. Fuck, I don't know. It's a good question, man.
I'm guessing they were about at 80 yards rushing.
I'm gonna have to commission another study on that.
Maybe 40 on passing.
Yeah,
I mean,
140
probably
or so
slightly over
sounds
100.
about right.
I'm guessing around that 120, 140 range first half, which is fine. You're playing the ninth ranked team in the country at their place with all the fucking pomp and circumstance of their coach and all this blah, 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 all the hype. Giving up 140 yards or so, let's put it at 150. 150 yards of offense in the first half for a team on the road. I'm fine with our defense doing that. I mean, hell, it was 0-0, until we're looking at a minute left in the first half. It was still fucking double zeros.
Yep.
You get your defense is playing well.
They missed a field goal.
Right. So I mean, your defense is playing well. If you're at zeros and almost to halftime, the defense they're not putting anything. They're not putting you in a hole. They're not making you change your game plan at all. Right. It's not like, oh shit, our defense gave up 2 quick scores. Now we have to change what we're doing on offense to try to steal momentum. The defense was in. I don't like as much running as they gave us, but overall, I'm not. Yeah, we want to go to grades, Joe. I'll let you know what the grades are of offense versus defense. But I don't think the defense was not an issue. Our lack of pass rush at times is still worrying or worrisome. But our defense did not let us down at any point in that game.
Right. I would say the offense could have punched in a couple there for sure.
I'll disagree.
We have to figure out a way to get more possession. We can't have 4 possessions in a second half of a key road, ranked versus ranked opponent, equal talent opponent. We can't have 4 possessions.
Whose fault's that? That's the defense's fault. So the defense has to get off the field. And so they weren't getting off the field when you dominated time of possession like that. So, I mean, the defense did fine. Obviously, they held Notre Dame to 14 points, but no, they didn't play a perfect game.
No.
Let us down again. That 93-yard drive. I mean, that was a fucking. You just can't do that.
To win 17.
It sets up you.
Yeah, I mean to win by 3. Your defense. And it's hard to say. It's hard to say without to make sense. Your defense did not.
Back up. Let's point the finger at the offense here for a sec.
Yeah, sure. Yeah,
when we're talking about the final score, because in the second quarter here, early in the second quarter, we had a nice long 13-play, 70-yard drive, 7 minutes long. We got 4th and goal at the 1. Kyle throws that incomplete pass on a rollout. That should have been a touchdown.
Horrible play call.
Yeah, exactly.
Horrible play call.
That should have been the dive to Chip. Or they tried running one with Mayan. He got stopped at the 1. They ran Chip
some kind
for
of play
3 yards.
And then they ran it right out of there. After they stopped us, they ran it right the fuck out of there.
Right, but my point is the defense, again, the short yardage is the issue here. You tack on 7 points right there, early second quarter, and you're looking at 7-0. Then we get the ball back again, go 12 plays, 68 yards, end up kicking a field goal from their 13. If you don't punch that in, that could be 14-0. And then you're looking at a halftime where they missed a field goal and we put up 14 points. Then come back. You got the 1 play, 61 yards, the Travion touchdown. That was the Ohio State's first drive of the second half. That's after Notre Dame gave it up on downs. 8 plays, 36 yards, turned it over. Buckeyes score. Then Notre Dame comes back with the 13-play, 75-yard touchdown drive. Then the Buckeyes, 7 plays, 24 yards. They punt it. They get to the Notre Dame 41.
Yards,
they get inside Notre Dame territory and punt it from the Notre Dame 41.
Yep. I remember.
That was
That's
a great
usually
punt.
That's not
and
usually what Ryan
we
Day
got them
does,
down to
though.
like the 5, and I said, Jesus Christ, just get them at the 10 and regroup defense. To get them,
Right,
get them to catch.
That goes against
we got
what
them at the
Ryan
5.
Day typically does. He typically would go for it there.
Yeah. Well, why wouldn't he? I mean, I think because the inefficiencies and the inconsistencies he saw in that old line and the protection, and Kyle McCord. Now there wasn't maybe they don't count the pressures when the quarterback is backpedaling 25 yards like Patrick Mahomes, but Kyle McCord is not Patrick Mahomes.
No,
okay, we don't need him. We don't need him
Oh.
just rolling, just backpedaling 20 yards deep. You roll
He
the
hangs
fuck
on to the
out
ball too
and throw
long.
the fucking
They're
ball out of
fucking-
bounds. Yes, chuck it out of bounds quickly, so we're not killing all the time and risking anything else. I mean,
Right. Okay. One more point I wanted to make before we gotta like wrap
We can go
this up.
anywhere,
We're just pinballing all over. The last drive before the final drive, so the second to last drive, we had a 7-play, 64-yard drive. We get another drive that gets inside the red zone.
Yeah.
4th and 1 at the Notre Dame 11, and that's the end around 4th and 1 play to Mecca
from the 11.
Nothing. So that's another drive that ended inside the red zone with no points. There's like 3.
Can I ask you a question? So this is why, and I don't know why Ryan Day, and I don't know why you don't like see that this is why the narrative's out there on when people say that Ohio State's soft. When you're not good at getting 4th and 1s and shorts like that, again, I think it was the play call. But regardless, it's 4th and 1. If you don't get it, you're fucking soft. Doesn't matter what the play call was. And then again, getting run on. That's why they say that. I don't know. It's not true. I don't call it soft necessarily, but what do you call it?
What's that? Giving up
Your Ohio
yards
State,
on the
you
ground.
can't get 1 yard. You
Hey,
can't get 1
Shawn,
yard. You can't stop the 1 yard.
We did for
Shawn,
the last play of the game, in case you missed it.
I know what I know what you call it, Shawn. What you call it, Shawn, is you don't have solidified top talent on the O-line. We don't have it. Anybody that fucking says we do, no, we don't. We had it. Maybe we had a little bit of it last year. Well, they're all fucking playing in the pros right now. All 3 of the guys we lost are all.
How did Notre Dame go ahead and take the lead on
We
us?
don't have.
They didn't finesse us. They fucking ran it down our throat.
Yeah, we don't. Yeah. Well, I mean, you just jumped to Notre Dame's offense. I'm talking about our offensive line, which is your
Stay on
previous point.
track here.
I'm talking about soft in general.
Well, okay. Well, I was giving you an example of our offensive line, just talent-wise, not being at the level it needs to be right now.
Well,
not
guess
saying
what, Shawn? The guys on the other side of the ball, they play football too. They don't just lay down for you. You can't just own every snap when you step up on the field across from somebody. They're trying hard too. So you're not going to win every snap.
Look,
and you're
I'm
not going to
telling
call.
You why the narrative
You're going
exists.
to. Who else is soft in your opinion?
The narrative's out there. We're not good at getting that last yard. We're not good at stopping hard runs up the power running teams. We're not good at that. That's the narrative that's out there. We're talking about it on this show, and you're thinking that everybody in the world needs to ignore it. It's a narrative that's out there, and I just again, I'm not even saying it's right, but I can't believe you're shocked that people think that. I'm not shocked at all that people think that.
No, it is out there. You're right,
but I'm not shocked.
It is, and I think I'm hoping that
I will never accept it. Again, I've said this before. You go inside the fucking Woody in January when those guys are doing their fucking winter workouts, they're pulling tires, doing all this heavy shit, doing just grinding to the bone.
The mat drill, bleeding,
sweating. and tell them they're fucking soft, dude.
It's
I
like
dare
every other
you.
team. And I guarantee you that we've called a bunch of teams soft on this podcast. And their dudes are doing all that shit too. It's the narrative that's out there. And to take it so personal, I mean, I hope the team takes it personal, but I don't give a fuck you think that Buckeyes are soft. Play. But again, I do think why can't we get that tough yard consistently? Why can't we stop the run consistently against these big time teams? Why can't we? Because our guys aren't good, our scheme sucks, or are we soft?
Well,
I mean, I don't know.
no,
But
Shawn,
that's the
I'll say more before I say we're soft. I say we don't have the horses that we've had in the past. I don't think we have pros on this offensive line. Like every year since fucking 2014, where we've had Billy Price, Pat Elflein, Taylor Decker. You go to Jamarco Jones, Nicholas Petit-Ferrer.
So they're not soft.
On
So
down the
just
fucking line.
So it's not that they're soft; they're just not good.
I lean more towards us not having the talent than them being soft people. I learn more towards they're just not as good. We don't have. I mean, look at our O line depth.
They're D1 Ohio State football players. None of these guys are soft. None.
No. Well, I'm not saying that. Shawn, that's what I'm saying. They're not. I don't think they're soft. I just don't think the talent we have on that O line is not comparative to the talent we've had last 5-6 years on that O line. If you want to go back to the last national title, 9 years. I don't think our O line is as good as any of those years.
Again, but we've called the Big 12 and the Pac soft for a decade. So I mean, it's not like those kids aren't working. It's not like they.
Joe, you understand what I'm saying? I'm not calling anybody soft. I think it's the lack of talent on that O line. I don't think we just have guys good enough. I don't think they're soft people. Mentally.
Okay.
I don't think they're good enough to be right now, and I'll say right now, because I'm still have confidence that McCord and the O-line are both going to make strides. They need to, if we need to get where we think we're going to get. But I don't think our O-line is. I don't think we have a pro on that O-line. Not based on performance this year. None of those 5 look like they could play at pro level.
Jackson will be a pro.
Oh,
he's had a bad year.
Yeah, I would say that's what I'm saying, Joe. That's what I'm saying, Joe. Watching this year, that was why I made that little caveat. Watching this year, these 4 games, I don't see an NFL lineman on our lineman.
I think that narrative is also built over the fact that we are Ohio State. We've always been so good, and we get all the best kids, especially throughout the Midwest. And whatnot.
We don't need O-line,
and so
for years
I think what the narrative kind of gets to be is, Ohio State thinks they're so good, and then they can't get to this. It's because they got all these prima donna players, all these highly rated dudes that they don't work hard. They're just like better. And so I think it's just to throw shade at Ohio State. But again, I'm not pissed about it. I frankly like it. I hope it pisses the players off. I mean, no one wants to be called a bitch. That's basically what you're saying.
Yeah.
But I know where the narrative
I hope it does register with the players.
I embrace it. Yeah, keep calling them soft. I mean, it's got Ryan Day fired up, and I love it. Let me see some fired up Ryan Day.
I disagree with the entire take from Jump Street. I do not accept the fact that the team as a whole is soft, whether you want to talk or if you want to dial it down to O-line, D-line. I will not accept that
because you're not accepting what we're talking about.
You don't win every down.
We're not calling them soft, Joe. We're not calling them soft.
No, you're not understanding what we're talking about. It's like there's a disconnect.
We're saying
because we don't convert every short yardage and stop the other team on every short yardage play. Is that your definition of
Joe? Have you ever heard Joe? Have you ever heard the expression? Hey, you know why they're stereotypes? Because they're true. Have you ever heard that expression?
Yes. How does that apply?
I tell my daughters that all the time, right? I raise them on it.
How does that apply?
Perception is, don't even go there. Perception is our O line and our D line, and people will use words like toughness and all that kind of stuff, like Lou Holtz did. And they're not tough. They're finesse, whatever. It's not that. It's just talent wise. Right now, we don't have it. Me and Shawn are not saying our boys aren't tough enough. I don't think they're good enough. That's the difference. Do you understand the difference? What we're saying as far as good enough versus tough enough? You can be tough as fuck, but if you're not good at football, I know a lot of guys that I play football with, tough as nails, tough dudes. You doing, not dudes you mess with, but on the football field, you can make them look ridiculous. Big fucking difference. I'm saying,
I think our D
talent-wise,
line
we're not there.
I think our D tackles are tough as nails. But
and what Shawn's
saying,
saying, yeah, dude, the proof is in the pudding with the stats. After that 60-point or the 60-yard rush from Trey, we averaged 2.5 a carry. That shouldn't be a case in any circumstance. I don't give a fuck if you're playing Georgia or Western Kentucky. You should be able to, if you're Ohio State and you have the studs, the horses, they have a recruiting service has told you have 2.5 yards a carry is dog shit. Regardless, unacceptable at any line. And what the perception is nationally, is because they're finesse, they're not tough. What I'm saying, and I think what Shawn's kind of leaning to, our guys, we have a poor stat right there. That's a really poor stat. 2.5 yards carry minus one big run. Now, they sprung a hole to get the big run, yes, but it's talent versus toughness. But nationally, because they don't give a fuck about watching the program or being inside the program and knowing these kids or whatever else, they're saying 2.5 carry against Notre Dame. They're in their head, they're not considering Notre Dame a top 5 defense anyways. So they're saying, well, wait till they play somebody from down south because where they really play defense. That's what's in the head.
Here's the other thing.
So the numbers don't match up. So that's why the perception goes out there. And that's why it matters.
But also on the D line, it's like we were talking about. I think Tyleek and Hall. I think these dudes are special dudes. What they're not is they're not huge. They're amazing athletes at the defensive tackle position. They're able to do moves. They're able to get like good pass rush, and they're solid at the run. When you play these big time teams with these big time O lines, those guys get worked. I'm sorry, but they do, and because they're 285. And they're going against 330-pound dudes.
So which is it? Is it the quality of the player, or is it the lack of execution?
Well, it's I don't know if we don't have the depth, because if it's a short yardage position, I don't want a 280-pound D tackle on the field. I don't, man. I want the 320-pound guy. I want Jalen Carter. I want big bodies in there. We don't have those guys. I don't know why we don't.
Dime a dozen.
No, but I feel like you look at other D tackles. I feel like our D tackles are great athletes, but not the biggest dudes. I think one of them's pretty big. I can't remember the size and weight.
Tyleek 6'2", 290. Michael Hall 6'2", 280.
Yeah,
again,
you wouldn't
not.
I mean,
just
Michael
falling
Hall
into
Michael
Ohio
Hall
State's
couldn't
lap.
even be. I mean, Michael Hall couldn't be 5 pounds. Like, you could not have a 275-pound D tackle. I mean, it's getting on the light side. I mean,
so is it player? Again, let's ask the question as we wind down here. The show's almost over. Player or execution?
It's
on the D line. More D line. You're saying strictly the D line.
Start with D line, then go to O line. Sure.
Is it player versus? Yeah, if I have 2 options to choose from, Joe, give them to me again.
Quality of the player or execution, or you can throw in coaching. That's what it always is.
Okay.
It's scheme,
I would actually say probably more
execution.
coaching.
Okay,
and roster.
Okay,
I'd say roster more, because I don't.
Well,
Tyleek
roster comes into play
Hall,
with one of them.
Those guys need to be on the field for the majority of snaps. I'm just saying, when it comes down to critical to different things, like, hey, this is a run heavy team. These guys are coming in here basically to try and close the game out on us and do a 96-yard drive to, 8-minute 96-yard drive to close this thing out. I need some dudes in there that you can't move. And that's all I'm saying. And so Tyleek, it's not against anything. It's Tyleek. I think he's fucking amazing. But
he's the only one. Those guys that we have.
They get moved.
Put in there and don't move. But yeah, Tyleek gets moved too. You're right. But we don't have those 300. Like, the SEC will put. They have 3 guys on their roster and on that D line depth chart that are 320 plus, at least every
310,
16 of them. Oh yeah, I mean, there's a lot of them. I mean, but we have Tyleek. What do you say, Joe? He's listed at 290. He's over 300 pounds.
Yeah.
He's a big fucking dude out there. He's 6'3", 6'4". Yeah, he's 300 plus. But he's not. I mean, he's not. He's not one of, I don't take any of 9 Alabama's D tackles the last 8 years that are in the NFL right now.
Right.
He's not that 6'4", 290. Those guys are 6'5", 310 with quickness. Jerron Reed. I don't know where you want to. You can Shawn Robinson, whatever. Go down the line. You can.
Tyleek was offered and recruited by Alabama.
Sure.
I'm looking at his recruited profile here. He was a 4-star, a 9.288.
Yeah.
Nationally, a 166 guy. That's pretty high for a D lineman. He was at 6'3", 330 in high school. So obviously, and that was right around COVID times. I remember him saying that COVID got him. But so, yeah, he's definitely still over 300 pounds. There's no way he lost 40 pounds.
But he gets moved. He gets moved. You know what I mean? He gets moved. You're right, Shawn. He gets sealed off. Like everything they were doing last night was down blocking, just fly, just that read to the middle. It's designed to bounce off tackle. Sometimes it was between guard and tackle, but they're down blocking everything, and our guys got shielded. Ty Hamilton, Mike Hall, we don't have those. Tyrone Malone would be the guy that I would be thinking. Well, he's like that big run stopper, that Teron Vincent.
He's not getting any playing time, is he?
No, not zero, absolute zero. And I'm not saying Teron Vincent as the run stopper stud we have, but I'm saying size wise, that big, big SEC fitting that that has just put him in the middle and they just plug shit. Our guys got moved. A lot of times it was
I would tell you
shielding
that
them.
Mike Hall and Tyleek led the team in pass rush grades for this game.
They're great pass rushers. They're amazing pass rushers.
JT behind him, then Ty Hamilton, then Jack Sawyer. Those are your top 5 pass rush grades. And Tyleek actually led the team with 5 pressures.
Do you guys know? Have you guys caught? I asked real quick. Have you guys caught this on tape that they have Jack Sawyer? He doesn't play the same DN position that JT is playing on play-by-play basis. They don't have the same responsibilities every play. You guys noticing that?
JT is the strong side, Jack's a weak side.
Well, yes, and with that comes different responsibilities. Jack is playing more run support than he is pass rush, and I think he's being asked to do that mainly, maybe by what you said, Joe, according to weak side, strong side. But I think it's more to his strength too. Jack Sawyer, I think Jack Sawyer is a great run defender, not elite, but great. But yeah, he's not an elite or great pass rusher. And you need to have more than one guy. I don't know if we have an elite pass rusher at all. You need even if you have a great one, you need to have 2 great ones to affect the college game the way it is.
Coming in. Yeah, it needs to stay stocked.
Georgia, see Alabama the previous 8 years. You know what I mean? You said scheme. Is it scheme, execution, or talent, or scheme, execution? What were the 3, Joe? When you rate talking about our D line, coaching. The coaching kind of bleeds the scheme, in my opinion. I put those 2 together. Well, if the guys, I know we know for a fact.
I don't think the coaches could call anything to make Mike Hall stop the run, though, right? I mean, he's not the right guy for it.
Right. What I was saying, the coaching is part of the scheme. I think we all know that we have some of the best position coaching, teaching techniques that there are in the country. They wouldn't be at Ohio State for the years they've been. Larry Johnson, those guys, they wouldn't have been at Ohio State or gotten the job even if they weren't elite at teaching their position as far as technique. So I think we have to all go on the basis that all of our D linemen are getting taught the very best techniques. Technically they're being taught at the very high level. Scheme, I don't know. Jim Knowles' defense the defense seems to be working. I think maybe his scheme leans more to showing different positions being more effective. The Ravens, when Ray Lewis in his first 5-6 years, that Ravens defense was built around making sure Ray Lewis can make every play, and everybody on that defense did everything they needed to do to let him make every play. So it's just as far as scheme. Now, so you say that, well, those defensive tackles weren't any good at Baltimore. Well, they might have been real fucking good, but they might have been really doing their fucking job every play, and another guy got all the credit.
Oh,
So,
they were good. They were huge. They were huge and kept people off.
Yes, exactly. That's kind of the point. So overall, I think Jim Knowles' defense is doing the job. I think he's teaching the right defense. We are playing good defense as a team, as a whole, points per loud. You know, we're not getting all the stats, all the catchy stats, but we're never putting our offense in a hole. You know what I mean? Our defense, like we did in our losses in these past couple of years, where we just gave touchdowns away, and we're like, okay, pick us up. Sorry, you know, we're not seeing that. So I think the scheming's good. The fucking talent's good, because I made a comment last night. At any point in that game, we had 18 stars across our D line. I don't know. You matched it up against Notre Dame's 5 linemen out of our 4, and I bet the stars are about the same. So at any point last night, we had, between the 4 guys, we had 18 total stars on the field. So the talent, I mean, I don't know. So who's judging that talent? Now that's what the recruiting services say, and we only go after the top guys, right?
I feel like the game is.
So if it's not talent, I don't think it's scheme. What is it, Joe? What do we leave here?
I feel
we did
like
win the game, guys. I should point that out. We
the
did win the
so
fucking
specialized,
game.
Jeff. I feel like unless you're a total freak like a Jalen Carter, that there might not be a guy. That's why you have to have the rotation. You got Hall, and you got these guys that are amazing pass rushers, like Joe just read off their stats. They get up there, they've got moves, they can fucking work around guards and this and that, but they get moved off the ball in the run play. And I think maybe you need more rotation, and it's more situational. Again, I don't think Mike Hall and them are soft at all. I think they're doing what they can do, but I mean, when you're asking guys to do things that are impossible. Our interior D linemen are elite pass rushers for their position, but they're not as strong as a lot of D linemen and a lot of teams that play for national titles. We don't have they're not run. I mean, they're great if you can be great at one thing on defense and not great at another, right? We don't have great run support interior linemen right now. That showed, Joe. I mean, we got moved. They got moved a lot.
We won the fucking game, man. We held them to 176 yards rushing, for Christ's sake.
176 yards rushing. Joe, when's the last time we gave up 167 yards?
You said rushing? We held them to 176.
That's their game. That's what they do. That's
what they average for rush, Joe. Joe, how many rushes on 176 for how many rushes? I'm sure you have the stats
for how many rushes.
I don't. Controlling the game.
You got me paid for my back right now.
That was a 4.5 average.
Okay.
So we ran for a 4.7 average, by the way.
Yeah, with the 60-yard bomb.
You guys make me want to commit suicide, for Christ's sake.
Joe,
you sound like we fucking lost.
Joe,
Jesus.
We're only pointing out. We're pointing out where our against the best in the country.
What do you think Ryan Day's telling his boys? I don't get this.
Joe, why are you not willing to point out where we are deficient as far as playing for a national title?
I guarantee every position coach is going through and telling all our guys, you fucked up here, you fucked up there.
Yeah.
Look, that's what we're doing here, right?
I'm grading against Joe. I'm grading against the best in the country. And then what I'm saying is, our interior D line is not. They're getting moved. They're giving up their gaps a lot. You saw them close it, like you talked about the close up videos, the real tight video, real tight camera angles. Is right on the interior line, and our guys were getting fucking turned. You know, they were getting the old lineman was getting their back showing to the hole, where it makes them easy. The easiest read in the world is if you see the old lineman's back, you know exactly, you cut right off that hip. So I mean, there was a lot of that. So we do have they are elite pass rushing the interior linemen. I think Mike Hall and Tyleek are elite as far as college football interior linemen pass rushing, but we're not there against the run that national title teams are against the
Again,
run. We're not there yet.
It's week freaking
Yeah, we won the
four,
game. We
man.
won the game against Notre Dame, Joe. We won the game against
know,
Notre Dame, the second class Midwest team in the
When
country.
is it enough? What is good enough to you guys?
Beating the teams that
Beat
are
them by
best at it.
30? Yeah, beat them by
No.
30.
What do you mean,
Think
Joe?
there's
What are
some
you
weird
saying? What are you
tangent.
saying? What do you mean? What's
No,
good
Joe,
enough for us?
actually, they've looked the greatest. I don't think anybody could ever beat Ohio State. We're the toughest, fucking most dominant team running the ball, stopping the run out there. And nobody
But all
ever
you do is
fucking better walk
bitch.
in our yard.
All you do is
I point out
bitch.
the obvious, and you like deny it. It's weird to me.
You just spent 90 minutes bitching about the offense and the defense, and
Yes.
especially the lines. 90 minutes, Shawn. In
Yeah,
a win.
I love the
Jesus
win. It was
Christ.
exhilarating. It was great.
Joe, was it? I thought
What do you
the
think their
discussion
coaches are
turned-
going to do, Joe? Is that what you're here just to fucking?
It's not my job,
blow
Shawn.
it-
I don't give a fuck.
I know
It's
we're
not my
supposed to blow
job
it-
to grade
Oh.
the player by player.
So what is our
What-
job here?
who's the
Just to blow
champion?
Ohio State? Just to blow them and not
No,
fucking
man.
critique anything?
I think maybe some perspective might be advisable.
What? So,
Not
so
just
Joe, give me your
looking at the
give me-
shitty
give-
side for 90 minutes.
Hey, Joe, brother, tell me what the perspective should be then, because you haven't given us your perspective.
It's just my
Yeah.
opinion. It's just my
No,
opinion.
I
My
know.
opinion is to have a longer view
Well-
of the entire season. We are
What,
1/3
Joe?
of the way
We haven't
through
given up
a
on the
season.
season.
Joe, Shawn, lay out. Joe, for fucking 90 minutes, you have not allowed us to just give our opinion. All you need to do, all you're doing is you telling us how fucking stupid we are for acting the
I
way
didn't
we
say
are.
that. I didn't say you're stupid.
No,
I
no,
said-
you didn't. You didn't have to say it, brother. You know what you're saying.
I said you
Go
guys
ahead, but-
went
well, hey, we'll
really
lay out-
negative. I said you guys went super negative for 90 minutes.
It's not negative. It's just real. What are you talking about? It's
I'm-
not negative. It's just
well-
the facts.
All right.
Joe, I thought the discussion turned to us comparative to national title type level of competition. And I don't think our run defense in the interior line is good enough right now, just like I don't think our O-line is good enough to win a national title right now against those top title teams. That's where
I
that's
never-
where we're that's
I
that's
never
the
argued
genesis
that.
of where
Let me
we're
ask you
talking.
one
I
very
never
simple
argued that.
question. Joe, let me ask you one question.
Well, you're not arguing
Right now-
anything. Then we'll lay out and you tell us what we should think. Because
Right
you don't like the
now-
way we think, so tell us what we should think.
I just
Four
disagree.
ga-
That's all.
Four,
I'm not telling
four
you.
games into this season, do you feel more comfortable this year, 2023 Ohio State football? Do you feel more comfortable that we have a chance to win a national championship this year than you have in any of the past 10 years?
No.
No.
And you can't say yes. You
Obviously,
can't say
last year was our best shot. And then the year before, let's see, 2020
19.
was our
19.
next
Wasn't it 19?
best shot. Well, 2020, I would say 2019 before that. So we've had plenty of
Yeah.
shots. So, I mean, that's the 3 years Ryan Day has made the playoffs in
Yeah.
the last 4. We had a shot.
I'm saying the
every
past
year,
10
every time.
years.
There's
Where
3
do you
of the
feel?
4.
Where do you feel? Do you feel? I know, and it could happen. It always happens like this. The year we won it, that was the year I thought we wouldn't win it. But so you never know how it's going to play out. But right now, I got to tell you, my comfort level at this point in the season is not as high as it's been in past years with what I've seen, the product that I've seen. And if it is for you, that's
Right.
fine. But I just
because you see there's glaring things. Like the offensive line is not dominant enough when we always want it to be dominant. I mean, that's true.
Yeah.
So that's one of the examples that Shawn's talking
But
about.
I'm also
Where our
hoping that
O line
Notre
is
Dame-
not dominant when we need it to be dominant all the time. Where
I
we've
hope
seen it
Notre
in the
Dame is
past,
world beaters.
it was.
Maybe they are
Yeah.
as damn near as good as us, but I don't feel they are. I feel they got 2 more losses on their schedule, probably with USC, Notre Dame. Watch out for Duke next week.
All right.
Yeah. Well, okay. Yeah. Bold.
We'll
bold
see.
prediction. But a little letdown, maybe. They put a lot into this game, just like they did last year. Remember, they lost to Marshall the week after us last year.
Duke beat Clemson in the
Mark-
game. I mean,
Yeah.
Duke
Oh,
can play
Clemson.
football.
I mean, Clemson might not even be a key victory for them by the time they play Clemson. Clemson, down like a roller coaster, speeding downhill. But I mean, I think Notre Dame's defense is good. I think we beat a quality team. I think we should get credit for beating a team like that on prime time at night, on the road. I think Ohio State as a team, just looking at the total game flow, tough defensive battle first half. Notre Dame ends up. We got the lead. Notre Dame comes down, takes the lead. We come back. Key drive, end of the game. Our quarterback drives us down the field. I'm just looking at the overall game. Quarterback brings us down to gets us down to the 1 on a pass that worried the shit out of me when he threw it. But then, then we in a gutsy play and our third string running back, fucking powered one in with 2 seconds left. Game flow, just people in the media looking at it. I think Ohio State should get credit for that. I mean, we should move up.
It's an instant classic. I mean, that you'll see this game played 20 years from now.
If Notre Dame doesn't shit the bed 2 or 3 more times, like you said, if Notre Dame plays USC to the same type of game, maybe it's high scoring, but it's back and forth. It's down to the last drive, make a play or not make a play, but it might be 38-20, 38-30 or something like that or whatever. I think we should get the same credit. So hopefully Notre Dame is what they showed us and what they gave us. I hope they are that. To me, I think they're for real because I think we're good. I mean, we're obviously even our O-line, as much as I bitch and worry about our run defense in the interior or our O-line pass blocking, we're still better than 90% whatever 90+% of the country. Yes. I'm just only worried about that 199, 98%. Those guys we're going to see in the fucking playoff because there's only 4 of us that make it in still this year. We got to go play at Michigan. And we play Penn State. I think we have 2 more games that are better than this team. So
we played real teams.
It worries me. I am worried. Yes. I'm not fully convinced. Yes. But yes, we are better than 90, like I said, 90+% of the country. But that's when you recruit the level that we recruit at, and you tell us how good of players you're bringing in. Well, fucking show it. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. If they didn't advertise every big boom and every look at the player and average player rating, if that wasn't so high or one of the 2-3 best in the country every year, I might not be so uptight. But I am when you say that we have the best talent in the country. Well, and then I don't see it, or I see it being average or mid. Then it worries me.
Look,
why are they not playing like they should?
Ohio State spoiled me. Yeah, I have really high expectations. I expect these guys to always perform on a level that is probably not possible. I understand that I have expectations that aren't even probably meetable, but they did that.
But they tell us they've
been so fucking good for so long. Yeah, I know it's all nitpicky shit, but I mean, what else am I gonna do? It's Ohio State. It's not gonna I'm
gauging all of this against Georgia. Or pick whatever team you think's playing for the national title this year. I'm saying Georgia because they've done it fucking twice in a year and they beat us last year doing it. So I'm gonna say I'm comparing us. I'm looking at us versus Georgia, not so much us versus Notre Dame, or fucking Indiana, Western Kentucky, Youngstown State, whatever. I'm looking at we're not beating Georgia's guy doing that, or we're not beating fucking Oklahoma's safety doing that or whatever. And pick a team. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So that's why when I say I don't think we're good enough, I'm talking winning national title. That's what I'm saying. That's where I'm saying we're not good enough. Or I don't think we're good enough yet. I'm not turning the faucet off on any part of our team, offense, defense,
so Joe,
teams, not being national title worthy. It does not right now.
Answer my question. Are you more confident this year than any of the last 10 years that we win a national title?
Since Urban's been there, since Urban showed up.
Yeah.
In week 4?
Yeah.
No, I've never been confident in week 4.
Oh, I've
I don't know, Jeremiah. I don't know where I found these goofballs. In week 4
in 2019.
No.
In 2019, you were confident.
You guys
confident
act like 2014 was the greatest season ever since known to man.
I was going to bring up Joe. I was going to bring up a point about 2014 when we played.
Well, we can't go all night.
I know, but
we lost to Vatech in week 2, by the way, and then we had an overtime victory to Penn State at Penn State that year.
That was a great game.
So
Holy shit, that was a great game. Holy shit.
anyway,
game.
let's not change history just
No,
to support our.
What was your answer?
No, in week 4, I do
Never.
not have the confidence that we're a national championship team. However, I do.
Okay, Joe,
believe-
however, Joe, minus your however, that's what me and Shawn were saying. That's exactly what me and Shawn are saying. So your
Okay.
your however negates everything that we just said outside of we
Okay.
feel that same way. So
I
we're all in
don't feel
agreement.
any different than I had the last 10 years. No, at week 4, at week 4.
I tell you what, in
At
2019,
week 4.
in 2019, Joe, I thought at week 4, I said this is a national title team, and minus injury to Chase Young, to Okuda, or Justin Fields, or Olave, or Wilson, we're winning a national title. And at week 4 in 2019, I can tell you, I felt the most confident I've felt since
All right.
since 2015. Since 2015,
Didn't get it
thinking
done.
that thinking we'd walk to it.
Right.
All right.
But okay, but yeah, I mean, so that's my 1 year. You said no years, Shawn. I'm telling you, 2019, when 10 things fucking went crazy and Clemson beat us in the Fiesta Bowl, that was the year. You know, look how many pros we had on that team, and we had every facet of that team to win national title, and we didn't. That team, I saw that early. We had Halfley coaching the top 8,
All right.
top 5,
Jeff, we got to go,
defense.
man. We've had enough.
You got to go.
It's fucking 9:45, man. Come on. People, please, if you have any mercy in your hearts, please, for my sake, just for my sake, please give us a like on the show. I would greatly appreciate it on your way out the door.
Or a comment. Tell me to shut the fuck up.
Make sure you're subscribed. Thank you.
Tell me how right I am.
And yeah, chat loves you guys, by the way.
They should.
Man. Yeah, I'm being sarcastic.
I love them. It's mutual.
I appreciate everybody watching, though, and thank you for giving me all your thoughts. I will read through them at some point. I promise I will read through them. I saw a lot of good ones. A lot of people saying that thank you, Caveman.
Send it to me,
But,
Joe. I want to see the
people,
screenshots.
I appreciate all you guys popping in and chiming in. I promise I will try and get back to all your comments. Please continue to leave your thoughts, and I appreciate you. No
Joe, I'll
t-shirt
get back to
contest next week. Brian Money, I owe you a shirt, so get in contact with me. Next week we will have the next t-shirt prediction score giveaway. I'm sorry, Hummus Hero. But next week we'll have for the Maryland game. Get your scores in next Sunday. We'll do the score predictions again for a free t-shirt or a hat. Again, you got to get one of these Ohio Against the World shirts. Ryan Day's promoting it. Why wouldn't you?
He is. It's blowing up.
So
made popular in 2014.
Yeah. So appreciate everybody joining
going to
us.
the shop tonight.
Jeff and Shawn, appreciate you. Talk to
Do
you.
you?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Later, bro. See ya.